So sorry, I just saw that I was muted. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in to another Purpose February, and we're getting close to the end of this series. Um, Today we are talking about fear, and fear is something that everybody is going to face when it comes to our destinies. In fact, fear for most people is the thing that is guarding the door to their destiny. And unless you learn to overcome it, to walk through it, then your purpose and the measure that could be obtained for you will always evade you. So, when it comes to thinking about your purpose, I think there's a lot of misconceptions which I've tried to address as we've gone along this month. But many people, one of those assumptions is that many people assume that it's going to be easy. You're just going to walk right on into your purpose, and that there's not really any work involved in it, because it's natural or it's instinct driven. And while those things are true, it will be natural to you and it will be instinct driven. In other words, your enjoyment of the thing that you are supposed to be doing will be natural feeling for you. It doesn't mean that the fullness of that thing is just going to come natural to you. And in fact, I'd say it's opposite, that it's calling you to grow so that you can encapsulate that thing, right? You're going to be forced to expand in order to reach that destiny. So your destiny is definitely going to force you to grow. And fear is going to be one of those things that you're going to have to grow and learn how to overcome. For some people, they're meant to be leaders and they're meant to make very hard decisions and tough choices and very firm, right or wrong, yes or no, left or right decisions. But their fear of people is keeping them from stepping into that place. When so many people are needing a leader, they're not able to lead because they're afraid to have hard conversations or to step into a position that would leave them accountable for making those decisions. So, when it comes to your purpose, your destiny, I really encourage you to really take a look at the thing that you are fearing the most. That is likely the thing that you need to face head on in order to have a greater measure of your purpose, to grow in it, or even to step into it. I want to just give you a couple of quick examples. If you checked out my podcast, I do a podcast the last Wednesday of every month with my friend Justin Akers. He's a pastor in Louisiana, and we were talking about this a little bit yesterday. Moses, for example, was always born to be a deliverer, and he knew that. That was an instinct driven calling for him. We know this is true because at one point he sees that a fellow Israelite is being beaten by an Egyptian, and he actually kills that Egyptian. At the time the Israelites were slaves. And so we know that his instinct to become a deliverer, to be a leader in that position, was always there. However, that didn't mean that he was just given the position because he had that instinct. He actually had to go through a process where he was able to handle his fear in an appropriate way. He grew up actually in the household of Pharaoh, and then later on, when he's an old man, he was 80 by the time he was called to go speak to Pharaoh and to say the famous words, let my people go. When he was facing that, he was afraid. He said, I don't speak very well. He had lost confidence in his calling, in his destiny. And a lot of people have that happen. That loss of confidence actually isn't, it's fear. Unbelief and fear always go together. It's just thinking that you're not able to do it. And so do whatever you need to do to face your fear. In Moses' case, just as an example again, he told God that he needed to have his brother come with him. And he said, I can't speak to him because he had some sort of speech impediment. And he said, I have the speech impediment. I can't go by myself, so I have to have my brother come. And God said, yeah, okay, your brother can come. But, then Aaron never spoke to Pharaoh It still was Moses. So do whatever you need to do to feel comfortable enough to face your fear, but at the end of the day, you still have to face it. It's still going to be something that you have to overcome. Nobody else can fight that for you. Nobody else can walk through that door for you. That's going to be something that you have to do. So today I want you to identify what you are afraid of and then come up with a doable plan and an accountability plan on how you will not only overcome the fear, but take authority over it. One of the videos that I did this month was on authority. So, and the purpose of this is so that you can lead others through that same process or through that same door that you just got authority over to hold open for other people. And I also talked about influence and the way that you are able to influence and have influence with others is through authority. So whenever you're facing something, know that it's never just for you. Fear is always a sign that this is not just your battle. This is for somebody else. This is likely for many other people, and it's potentially even generational. So today's homework is to is to make a list, to take an actual inventory of the things that do make you afraid. You know, when I started YouTube 3 years ago, I didn't want to do it, and I didn't even have social media, and it was a frightening thing for me because um, I felt really ridiculous just speaking to my camera, speaking to my cell phone at the time, and you know, I didn't know how people would receive me, and I had all types of thoughts in my head that I never had before because I didn't have social media. So sometimes you think you're not afraid of something, but that's only because you've never had to deal with it before, right? So you can say, like, no, I'm not intimidated by people, which was true for me, but I didn't know about people on social media. I didn't know about this different realm. And so the fear of the unknown of that was really what was holding me back. And now when I look at it, like, not only am I able to do this series with you this month, the Purpose February, but also, you know, over 1 million views have been had on my channel, and just all of the people that wouldn't have been able to have access to the information that I have and the authority that I carry over narcissism had I not stepped through that. So the tension that you feel is a sign of the amount of authority that you'll carry in that area if you're willing to push through. So today, really think about it. What are you afraid of? Make a list of those things and then come up with a doable plan for you. In other words, if you have extreme stage fright, your doable plan is not going to be find the biggest conference or event and try to become a speaker at it, right? It's going to be, hey, I'm going to get 3 of my closest friends together and do my elevator pitch for my new business or whatever, right? Or I'm going to do a 2-minute Facebook Live. Whatever it is for you, think of a doable plan. Don't make it undoable. Remember what we said about being on the first floor and wanting to go to the 10th floor, but not taking little steps to get up there. We just want to take one big step up to the 10th floor, and it's not sustainable that way. So think of a doable plan and come up with an accountability plan. Tell your best friend, you know, hey, this is what I want to do. This is my plan. Would you ask me in 3 days how I'm doing with my plan? Or can we meet up for coffee so I can tell you about my progress? Something like that. You need to come up with a doable plan and an accountability plan for it. So we're almost done with this series. This will end on the 28th when the month ends. And so I hope you've been keeping track of all of your notes and that it's been helpful for you. We're about to start wrapping this up, and so that you have a more clear idea of how to move forward with your purpose. So I will see you tomorrow for another Purpose February video, and have a great Thursday.